So as you're all aware, Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer as well as Warzone 2 is right around the corner, and this is going to be our final video on Warzone 1. We're going to go over what are the 5 best loadouts to use for the end of Warzone, and we won't be covering this game anymore until obviously Warzone 2 does drop. So if you do enjoy content like this and you want to see content on Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now, I do want to have a quick couple of updates before we get straight into this. The first thing is that if you do want to see the campaign walkthrough, we do have that all on the channel now. We've live streamed it from start to finish. We did have a slight hiccup in between that, but the full campaign walkthrough is on the channel if you want to watch it. I do think it's a solid game to play in terms of gameplay. I think it's definitely amazing in terms of gameplay. When it comes to story, it's kind of very predictable, what we kind of know from Call of Duty now. They've not done anything out of the blue. There is a couple of plot twists in it as well, don't want to spoil those, but you can either watch it or play it for yourself, one of the two. But overall, when it comes to the actual missions and stuff, they're very fun. There's a little bit of everything in there for everyone pretty much, and I think every mission was very different as well, which is what I enjoyed about it. So, and it's definitely very good value as well, what we're getting with the Modern Warfare 2 game. Overall, with the DMZ game mode, with the Spec Ops game mode, with multiplayer, with Warzone, obviously, which is going to be free to play. There's tons of content here, which is definitely going to make this overall definitely solid. So if you're looking to buy this game, I definitely recommend it. Now, so we're going to fly through these as quickly as possible. There's not too much explanation needed when it comes to the actual builds of these weapons now. We already know, or we should already know, what the best builds are. And starting off at number 5, we have the Blixen with the HDR. In terms of the Blixen, you want to use the recoil booster. The Bergstrom barrel now is the best barrel to use for recoil control. Slate reflector. I like the Bergstrom MB. People do use the remove stock. You could choose either or. Both are solid choices. Fleet for the better movement speed. Quick. The groove grip, again, for the better strafing side to side when you're firing. The Grenko 54 round mags, which have been the best for this gun since the beginning. Lengthened, and then the compact underbarrel, again, for those strafing speeds. So overall, this is kind of like a strafe build for the Blixen, and then we are pairing this with the HDR, which hasn't really changed since the beginning of Warzone. Monolithic suppressor, HDR Pro barrel, tac laser, stalker scout, focus perk, and this is one of the best snipers in the game. We've already covered a full stat sniper video if you want to check that out at the end of this one. But this is definitely a solid choice. It's got a one-hit headshot potential, and the bullet velocity is pretty solid as well. And the one-hit headshot snipers are pretty much the meta in this game at the moment, regardless of how slow the ADS is. Now, hopefully they bring back some quick ADS one-hit headshot snipers in Warzone 2. I think the way they're going to go with it from the campaign gameplay is to give the guns a bit more bullet drop, which is I'm perfectly okay with, coming from like playing Battlefield and stuff like that as well. Next up at number 4, we have another sniper class, and this is paired with the Grau, which has got to be one of the best well-rounded guns to use in the meta right now, which I personally like because it's one of the more popular guns that everyone enjoyed using when it was the meta. So when it comes to the Grau build, nothing too different to what we're used to here. So mono suppressor, Archangel barrel, tac laser, 60 round mags, commando foregrip. You can remove the tac laser, put on the VLK optic if you really want to. That's just personal preference, but with a sniper support build, I recommend using the iron sights just to make sure you can use it in those close range engagements as well if you need to. Then we are pairing it with the 3-line rifle, which is overall by far and away the best long range sniper in this game. It's got the best bullet velocity, it's got one hit headshot potential, and it's got a 20 round mag, so what's not to like? So when it comes to the muzzle, you want to use the Mercury silencer because it doesn't con your ADS time. It does give you bullet velocity. The barrel is the 820mm barrel, which again gives you the best bullet velocity. 4 to 8 times optic, you can use the 3 to 6 times optic, both are solid choices. The custom MZ stock is the best for this gun. Sleight of hand, you could choose whatever perk you want here, really, to be perfectly honest. On hand, the leather grip for the better ADS time, 20 round mags because why not, and then lengthened, and the skeletal underbarrel for the faster ADS time. At number 3, we have a super low recoil class for both of the weapons. We've got the UGM-8 with the Marco 5. UGM-8 build hasn't really changed in a long time, to be perfectly honest, so MX silencer for the sound suppression and recoil. Bernard barrel is the only one you should be using. G16 optic. Mercier stock, again, is the only one you should be using. Tight grip, I would choose on hand here if I had it unlocked, but I don't, and I'm not really going to unlock it now this late into the game. Hatch grip is definitely the best grip for the UGM-8. the British 75 round box mags, which is exactly the same as the 125 round Sakura mags or 120 round mags. Basically the same stats exactly, it's just that this has a smaller capacity and better movement speeds as well, which I prefer personally. Lengthened and enhanced up underbarrel. For the Marco 5, we do have the build that we've been using for such a long time now, is the recoil booster for the faster fire rate, Emreto barrel, which is the only barrel you should use for this gun, slate reflector, the FR stock, which is going to give you better movement speed, frenzy, quick, tape grip again for the movement speed, 64 round mags, which are going to basically give you the best control, and also 64 rounds, which is absolutely insane. Lengthened and in the skeletal underbarrel to offset the movement speed of the 64 round mags. The second loadout here is the XM4 with the MP40. Again, another very easy loadout to use here. The XM4 build hasn't really changed. I don't really need to go over it. It's the agency suppressor, task force, axial 3 times, 60 round mags, field agent grip. This is basically one of the well-rounded guns in the game right now. It hits relatively hard, but also doesn't have like super insane recoil, so definitely worth using. And then the MP40 again is very similar as well. It's actually one of the better SMGs in the game because a lot of the SMGs got nerfed. So I would definitely say this is going to be probably a lot of people's favorite or second favorite SMG to use in the entire game. So recoil booster, short barrel's the best now for the MP40, slate reflector, crossneck folding, the brace perk for the better control, perk 2 is quick, tape grip for the better movement speed, 45 round mags, hollow point, you could choose lengthened as well, and enhanced up underbarrel. Last but not least, at number 1, we have the best loadout in the game right now, and that is the Cooper Carbine along with the Armaguerra. Both of these guns, again, don't really have a ton of recoil, and that's probably why they're super popular. So when it comes to the Cooper Carbine, again, this build has not changed. You want to use the MX silencer, you want to use the Cooper custom barrel, the G16, the Cooper custom padded stock, tight grip, on hand, polymer grip, 60 round mags, lengthened, hand stop underbarrel. It's just an absolute laser beam inside Warzone, so it kind of makes perfect sense why everyone's using it right now. There's no reason to use very many other weapons than the ones that have super low recoil, and that is why the Cooper Carbine's at the top of the list. Then the Armaguerra, again, very similarly to that super low recoil. The Armaguerra doesn't have a ton, so you do want to use the recoil booster for the faster fire rate. The precision barrel is now the best barrel to use for this gun because it did get a couple of nerfs to the other 2 barrels, which is the body barrel and the Emreto. Then we're using the slate reflector, the Emreto stock for the better strafing speeds, hard scope, or you could choose steady as well if you want even more strafing speeds. Both are solid choices. Perk 2 is quick, tape grip again for that movement speed boost. 55 round mags, lengthened or hollow point, and then the skeletal underbarrel. And this is just probably the best overall SMG in the game right now. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe. Like I said, we will be making way more content when Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer does drop, and thank you very much for watching.